So let's talk grades for a second. I like to we're kind of a little bit, we're almost midterm. When we get back from spring break, you have about 1, 2, 3 classes to decide if you want a W or not. And this is like, there's a make or break grade point. So if you go to grades, I just want to point this out, and I'll remind you about this the week before the W date is due, in case you're concerned. So when you see grades, you have your marks here, and you have how I break down the score here. And then if something is missing, I am telling you, you can resubmit it. Now, sometimes especially like a discussion, it'll be tagged missing, and I'll still score it. So if you see something like this, I wouldn't sweat that. Eventually, I'm going to get rid of the missing tag, but I have to manually dig in the settings and hit don't make that missing. But if you see something that's missing in a 0 or a low score, investigate that a little bit, right? So if it has a 0 and it's missing, feel that you can turn it in, okay? If you have a low score and you see this mark, usually there's a reply more. So like with discussions, sometimes you do the discussion and you don't reply to others. I want you to reply to others. That's usually in the instructions, right? If there's why'd you get such a low score? I say resubmit and add the nostril hole. I try to tell you why you got the low score, okay? If there's something that is if there's a question, then you go to the inbox here and you email me, okay? I want this to be as transparent and as open as possible. I am trying to grade at least once a week. I believe I graded on Friday. I meant to grade yesterday and I didn't, so there's a few things that got turned in from then to now that needs to be graded. Should be updated by spring break. It should be updated by tonight or tomorrow with everything done here today. So if you're looking at stuff over break, and you're like, what do I do? I'm here. I am not on break with my other gig, so I'm working. So if you need help with something, email me and we'll see what I can do. Let's see, 3D. So big stuff, right? If you wanted to see, well, what if I just get a C- on that? So did you know that you can type in a fake grade on Canvas? Sarah, did you know this? No. You can just type in a grade. So I had a 0. So if you hit refresh, let me refresh this, right? It's a 0, right? I got this grade. I have a D- right now. 51% to D- in my class. So if I go, well, what if I turn in a really crappy head model? 35 out of 50, right? That raises me to a solid C just by getting a C in there, right? Yeah. So those big zeros are things you want to focus in on. I wish Canvas had a sort by points. They don't. But they have an assignment group. And just so you know, right, the project portions are weighted heavier. So work on those first. So big points in project, that's what you want to focus in on. All right. So I just wanted to clarify my grade book now that you've seen some of it, now that you've seen me and how I work with it. If it has a missing and a 0, feel free to turn it in. Juan actually leaned in and was like, is it the same as like when I'm like, yeah, it's the same. So Juan was used to this when he had me previously in his younger years. All right, questions on grades? We feel good and clear about that, Jamar? Yeah. Feel good and clear about the grades? Make up your missing work?
Are you still grading the final faces?
Yes. I only had 4 turned in. I was hoping I'd get a few more today. I'm going to be grading them probably tomorrow morning. I have some time tomorrow morning to grade, unless I get very interrupted. Let's see. All right. Let's play with so we're going to play with MUDBOX. MUDBOX is going to infuriate you. Jamar, open up MUDBOX and play with MUDBOX with us, because this is going to be a lot more controls. Okay. Ooh. So follow along. You're doing nothing, and we're going to get out early. We're not going to 9:15 today. I'm not going to curse us with a mark, but we're going to play for a little bit and then be done. When we return, I will review everything we're doing. I'm also recording everything I'm doing right now. But all I'm going to do is just show you how to play in MUDBOX and show you all the bugs and features with MUDBOX. and just let you guys mess around with the clay. You guys need reps. So what the MUDBOX is going to be a different method. So MUDBOX is what we call digital sculpting, versus what we've been doing is either extruding or retopologizing. So the self-portrait method is called retopologizing, right? That's the basic method with that. And then polygonal modeling is what you've been doing with Paul in 420. So now we're going to try digital sculpting. You could do let me say this. You could do a whole semester in digital sculpting. We can make MART 422 right now. I don't know, whatever. And you could do an entire thing on ZBrush, right? Or MUDBOX, okay? Speaking of, why don't we just use ZBrush? I don't know if you guys ever raise your hand if you heard of ZBrush, right? ZBrush is really good. ZBrush is really expensive. Maya's cheaper. Autodesk Maya and MUDBOX are cheaper. In your case, free. I can give you a free student account. I can't do that with ZBrush. Then Autodesk and MUDBOX play well together. MUDBOX was first, but ZBrush came along, and ZBrush is better. So people have started to move away from MUDBOX. However, the concept's exactly the same. There's just some really nice bells and whistles that make it a little easier for ZBrush, but the concept of a digital sculpt is also there. Also, if you have a stylus and you want to use a stylus, I was actually talking to my other modeling friend, and I was saying, oh my God, we're doing MUDBOX on a mouse and keyboard. And he went, Poosh. He was like he shuddered. He was like, "Why?" I was like, I could do I'm okay with it. He's like, "No, so if you have a pressure sensitive stylus, you can actually, the harder you press, the more you push the clay in." And so that's my preface to MUDBOX. Fun fact, Sarah, guess where MUDBOX started? Autodesk acquired MUDBOX. Anyone want to guess who made it? It's a quick. Weta. Do you guys know who Weta is?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson's special effects company. They used it when they needed to work on, I believe it was King Kong? King Kong after, so what's his face? Gollum was done with polygonal modeling, not MUDBOX, right? But everything you see now is usually done in ZBrush or MUDBOX or something digital sculpting, and then get retopologized for game. That's usually what happens. All right, enough talking. Let's play. So let me see. I'm actually going to go around and check because we're not turning anything in, so I want to make sure you're following along. Let me see MUDBOX on your screen. I also want to make sure it's open and working in case I need to sign into anyone.
You want me to close this window, welcome window?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just close the welcome window. You could still have Maya open. Both might wind up eating a lot of RAM.
I usually don't like to have two different programs open.
Yeah. So just a warning, both of these are big RAM hogs. Does this have it? Yes, it does. All right. So cool thing you can do here. I'm just gonna you get MUDBOX open. But if I was modeling something really quickly, don't do this. Just watch. Just watch. Right? La da da. I'm gonna make a little doop. Doop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Command E. Pull out. Up, up. Up, up. Command E. Pull it up. This is a hotkey. Command E. Command E. That's a hotkey, Jamar. Right? That's my little. Right? I'm just doing something. Da da da. Let me do both at the same time. I am recording this, but you're not turning anything in. So I'm just doop, doop, doop. Command E. Shrink them. Move them back. Got a little doggy. Right? And then maybe here. Command E. What are you doing?
It looks like Maya.
It is Maya. It is. I should have done this while you were doing your special effects. My apologies. All right, close enough. Good enough. Okay. So you can. This is Ben. You were asking. Is there any quick way to smooth something? Right. Ben asked that question. Is there any way? It would be a nice way if I can just kind of touch up very and then in an analog way to smooth it out and just say if this were clay. So there is actually this feature. If I go File, and you don't have to do this, send to MUDBOX. Right? I can send this to the MUDBOX as a new scene, and then it's going to jump to. Is it going to let me do it? It's going to let me do it. Keep all. There it is. Boop. So it's now taken my little doggy here and propped in the MUDBOX. But we don't need to do that. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a new scene in MUDBOX. Have MUDBOX open. And you're going to see that and be like, man, we did all that work. No, this head's meh. I want you to grab a cube or a sphere. Whichever one you wish to play with. A cube or a sphere. I'm going to grab a sphere.
What if we already closed that window?
Oh, if you already closed that window, easy peasy. You can go to Create Mesh. You got a lot less options than you do in Maya, right? But they're already pre-sculpted. And
T-Rex.
Sphere. I know. Don't worry, that's next week. When you sculpt a beast, you could start with that if you wanted to. All right. Let me see a sphere or a cube. Sphere or cube?
I don't have it, remember?
You go here.
It's not on here either. Oh, it is? Oh. Oops. I didn't even see that. See?
I thought you were downloading it. Bro. Can I just say it more?
Bruh.
What is it, bro?
Bruh.
It switches.
Bruh.
Bro now? Dude, 2 years ago it was bro.
Bruh.
Some people say broski.
Bruh.
You're gonna type in this code, ready?
Bruh.
Ready? 260.
2, 6,
0. 759.
7, 5, 8.
9. Enter. Booyah. Got open. Got open. Got open. Got open. Got open. Excellent. Chris got it. Good. Go ahead and choose cube or sphere. Okay.
Car.
So, what we're gonna play with, we have controls. There are a lot of hotkeys. Jamar, for next Tuesday, I'll make a better list. I have a quasi list right here. All right, so Command Z can run slow on MUDBOX. Sometimes you need to click off of something. These computers are a little faster than ones in my lab, so those could work. Sometimes you might need to just go up here to edit and actually force undo it. Sometimes. Lots of
on Windows.
Control Z.
No, I mean how is the speed on Windows?
I don't know. We're gonna find out with these laptops. All right. So we got sculpting tools and select and move tools. Okay. You can mirror local or global, but it's in a slightly different spot, and they're stamped. So let me show you what we got here. If you hit Control, I think on either computer set, Control reverses, does the opposite of the opposite direction. So if I sculpt and I'm pulling, if I hit Control, it pushes. Okay? So let's just play around a little bit right now. Oh, and your two big hotkeys are going to be B for your brush size, and then M for your brush strength. For my advanced folk, you instead of having a circle for a brush, you could make that a stencil. But that's in my new MUDBOX course that I'll be teaching at some point. All right, so let's click on sculpt. So this thing, it might be really small. Let's check out. Let's make it pretty big so we can see everything in there. I have sculpt here. Okay, click on sculpt. Does everyone have sculpt?
Yes.
Excellent. We are just playing. Go to mirror and either choose local X or world X. Your call.
Mirror.
I'm going to choose world X. You guys see where I'm at? We're good. I don't think there's a hotkey for that. There is a size and there is a strength right here, but you don't want to use those. You want to use B and M. B, and M. And it even tells you strength. If I hover over it, adjust the strength of the brush, M plus drag, or M middle mouse drag to adjust from 0. Size, same thing. It'll tell you B drag, right? B and drag. So, got B for brush. And if I hold it, my circle gets bigger or smaller. That's the impact of my sculpting grab. So if I hold B, everyone just try it. Hold B and make it brush big, small. We're just playing.
Hold B and click. And
Hold B, left click and hold, and drag for big, small. Everyone able to do that? All right. Hold M and left click, and you got a thing, a vertical line. The longer that line is, the stronger your push is, or pull is.
yeah, right.
M.
So is there kind of some estimate as to when it's inside or past the circle mark?
That's a weird looking shape, man.
Yeah. Are you already playing? You're already playing around. All right. So, if you click with sculpt, it pulls it out. So I can keep sculpting, and it becomes a horn. Now it looks a little jagged. If I wanted to smooth it, I hold the shift key. There is a smooth tool, but you smooth so often that you want to shift, and it kind of softens the edges a little bit. I'll talk about this point right here. I got this like sharp corner. So I got sculpt. If I hit control, it pushes it inward.
Looks like a bunch of pillows. Just
All right.
balled up.
How'd you get it to go inward?
Control.
Hey, the biggie.
Control goes in.
Okay, I saw that.
Never mind.
And then B for the brush size. M for strength. So mine's a little too strong. I'm just going to... Now, you might only need those 4 features. Sculpt, smooth, brush, size. There are more, but I think you can do every assignment if you are patient and do that. Oh, I know what the other features you need is to kind of even out these corners. So let me make this bigger. Just kind of... So, oh, my smooth is way too strong. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So I have, all right, let's see. What deals do I want to teach you? Let's talk about these corners. Now, again, RAM beware for those on the separate machines. Be wary of your RAM. You see how I got these corners right here? So once again, let me talk them all over again. Let me just stop. Sculpt. So B, how big do I want to grab it? M, how strong do I want to grab it? And grab. That's a big sculpt. So now I'm giving it more of like a skull-like feature here. Woo! Too much. Undo. See, I hit undo. There it goes. Undo's a little stubborn. Now, if I want to get rid of that butt-like feature, I'm going to hit this smooth here. And hit M on my smooth and kind of... I can also... If I'm on sculpt, I can hold shift and kind of smooth it out. Okay, get rid of these creases. There you go. So smooth is a nice, gentle way to kind of undo a significant crease. All right. Shift, smooth. M strength, B for brush size. Control inverts. Questions? Yes. Let's say I wanted to. Let's make some small sculpts. I'm going to go to B. I'm going to make it small. So B brush size. I linked these slides on the next thing. So let me just tab it open. So tool size, brush. B for brush. Tool strength, M for strength. M, I don't know why it's M. For motivation. All right, and so now if I use sculpt and I make it really strong but small, I get these really sharp points. And I'll talk about fixing those sharp points. if I wanted to make it come in, I hit Control and push it in. Now those are very jagged. If I hold Shift, I need my brush size a little smoother. If I hold Shift, it smooths it out a little bit. Now someone's probably noticing, Mr. G, it looks a little triangly. It looks a little pixely, right? That's because my subdivision layer is very low. Okay? My subdivision layer is very low. So, is that the next thing I want to talk about? I'm skipping that one. Subdivision is low. Now, performance may vary. If you have a very low RAM operating system, very old computer, this might slow down your machine. So be very careful when you're adding subdivision. So if I hit Shift D, it's going to give me more polygons. It's going to give me more quads. It's basically going to split every quad into 4. You're going to get 4 new quads for 1. And then it becomes exponential, right? So if I hit Shift D twice, I get 4 times 4, which is 16 new quads. That's a lot. Okay? I can also, do you guys have this keyboard with the extra long side? Page up and page down will let you shift between them visually. So Shift D is going to add more, but you can visually kind of change between them.
How do you go down levels?
Page down. So here I go. I'm going to hit Shift D. And what it did was it added, let me show you by selecting it. There. Oh, you can't really see it. Faces. It added more. Nope. Get off. You can't really see it. UV shot? Nope. No. All right. So, but it definitely, you can visually see it. If I hit Shift D again, it became way less sharper. It had way more polygons, so it didn't have to become as jagged. Okay, and now when I grab it, it'll look a little smoother, but I'll lose performance. That's pretty good. These computers are pretty good. So Control pushes in. Shift will smooth stuff out. Kind of take away some of the creases. All right.
And how would you go down a level, like?
I think if I hit page down, page down. It's right here. So if you're on your laptop, I left a note. I knew that question was going to be asked.
Oh, I see.
If it's not page up and page down, there's a hotkey. Let's just Google. Okay. Should I Google it though? What can I use for page up and page down? Hotkey. Function. Pressing function and then up and down arrow. Alternative to page up and down. Shift function up, shift function down, or function down, depending on your computer. So FN, if you have that key, and then up and down. If that doesn't work, shift FN up and down. Whew. So page up. And once you've made the sub Ds, look at the polygon count, right? So once you make, so we started with 15,000, and we were pretty jagged, right? And then if I hit page up, 6,000, and then 24,000. It's a lot of polys, right? For my weird looking fish here. Okay? All right. Let's see. Other things we need to know before we go on break. Let me see. I want to do one last. If you wanted to. Yeah. If you wanted to. If you hold X, this is where you get your move, scale, rotate. So if you hold X, you get the rotate that you're used to in Maya. You can't grab each one individually. There's a way to do that too. If you wanted to move it, middle mouse click. If you wanted to scale it, right mouse click. All right, but usually I see more, undo, 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 Command Z, undo, undo. Okay, we're back. All right. So what I want you guys to do is, you're not turning in anything right now. I want you to play with it for 5 minutes, and I want you to make something. You're a child with clay right now. Channel that 6-year-old self. You just got some Play-Doh. Make something. I have not shown you any of the other tools. You could play with pinch. Ooh, what does pinch do? Right? What does pinch do? What does grab do? Wow. Right? Maybe I need to make grab stronger. Don't forget, if it's not really making an effect, press M and make it stronger. Right? Ooh, man, I really messed that one up. Flatten. Ooh, flatten's way too strong. Right? Foamy. Blub, 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 blub. Make that one stronger. So foamy adds a lot of clay to your bits, and then shift will always smooth. So when you get this weird crease, and if you didn't want that crease, shift will help smooth that out. If you've done clay, shift is like like adding water. If you've taken a sculpting class, it's like dipping your thumb in water and putting a wet thumb over your surface. It'll get rid of the creases. Imprint is where you get to the stamps. So we'll learn about this later, but if I go to my stamp here and I choose this imprint, I can, let's see, give it a texture. We'll learn all about that. There's a lot of fun stuff to play with. So make something. It's gonna look ugly.
How do you do the imprint?
It's this tool right here. And you gotta pick a stencil, or stamp, excuse me. Imprint, and you pick your stamp. Again, this could be a semester-long course, because then you could build your own stamp, import a stamp, and then put that stamp on the imprint. Like if there's like barnacles here, right? I can go here and laughing at your project is good. Oop, oop. Yeah. Try to make something recognizable, but it is hard. My barnacles don't look good. Knife is like a very sharp sculpt. What I've done a lot is I have a controlled knife, like an inverted knife is often. Why isn't it working? There you go.
There's no undo button.
The undo, edit, undo. Sometimes, Christo, it's better to go here. The Command Z is less than desirable. Cool. So how do you make a limb or a fin? What I usually do is I make a very strong, small brush, and that kind of carries it over. Do I need to go up? There we go. Do I need to add one more? Whoa. Holding shift to smooth. So the habit you want to get into is constantly changing your strength, constantly changing your brush size, constantly hitting shift to smooth out stuff. Constantly changing your direction. Shift D. It's under here, mesh. It's all right here too. Add new subdivision level. Step up, step down. How do I what?
How do I move the object like above a above the grid.
You're going to hit X and very careful, X middle mouse click and lift it up.
Okay.
Oh. No, no, no. But that kind of is what I wanted to do. Yes. How do I curl that now? No, no, no. Grab more. All right, there's more I'm not telling you. Like if I wanted to make this curvier, there's a trick where you can like add a curve and let it follow the curve. We're not learning that yet. Ooh, that's too high. I'm making some sort of mustachioid duck. What are you making? It's way different than Maya, huh? All right, I'm going to come around and look. You have to have some sort of creature that I'm going to guess at.
Doesn't have to be a creature.
Has to be something. I'm kind of happy with my duck.
Looks more like a person's head stapled on a
Yeah,
duck photo.
it's a mustachioid duck. Oh, you have a right click that'll get you. This will get you options like.
Like Maya?
Yeah, like in Maya, and I just accidentally clicked out of my window. Which one is it? Switch view. Perspective. There you go. Whew. So if you get out of your right click, switch view, that'll get you to a different view. Sorry, switch view. Or you can look at it a different way. Ooh, I don't want that. And then I could send to Maya. There's Duckman. Oh, that was... I sent it as a basement. There's my Duckman. So it is kind of nice when you're actually needing to kind of polish something off in Maya when you're doing a polygonal modeling. You kind of just ship it over to MUDBOX and carve it out a little bit more. And then ship it back and do the other tricks you know. It's kind of nice to jump between the two. That's where I find MUDBOX the best. But let's see what you guys got. And let's call it a day.